Hello, thank you for joining. I'm extremely sorry for the delays we had. Thank you for your patience. So today we will go over several questions from SAT in the math section, of course, and I will try to help you understand it better, how to solve it, etc. So please feel free to ask your questions if you have, just in the comments. I will try to answer them. So the first question is, we are given an equation or identity, let's say, this identity, and there are meanings of it, etc. So they want us to find the speed of the object in terms of the other quantities. In other words, they want us to find v, as we see in the answers here. So if we have to find v in terms of the others, we will need to make separate v. So I have L equals S in square root 1 minus v squared divided by c squared. Now I need to get rid of everything that makes v here. So I need to free it, let's say. First, I divide each side by s. So I get L divided by s equals square root of 1 minus v squared divided by c squared. Then I have square sign here, so I square root, so I square both sides. So I get L squared divided by s squared equals 1 minus v squared divided by c squared. So now I subtract 1 from both sides and I get L squared minus s squared minus 1 equals minus v squared divided by c squared. Now I multiply by minus 1 both sides. What I get is 1 minus L squared divided by s squared equals 2 v squared divided by c squared. Now there's a dividing by c squared. So to get rid of that, I multiply by c squared each side. Or what I actually can do here is, instead of that, first we have squares here, so I can rewrite it in different way. I can write it as v divided by c squared equals 1 minus L squared divided by s squared. Now I square root both sides. I get v over divided by c is square root 1 minus L squared divided by s squared. Then I multiply both sides by c to get the v free. So c multiplied 1 over L squared divided by c squared. So this is our answer. In this case, it's A. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I would be glad to answer them in the comment sections. You can ask your questions there. Thank you for joining, new ones. So let's continue. If not, I will sometimes go back to chat to see if there are other questions. So another question, what is the result of increasing 300 by 200%? So there's several ways to approach this question. The one I like and one I use a lot, so it's writing proportion. So 300 is our 100%, agree? And when we increase it by 200%, how much we get? We get 300%, yes? So, and this is actually what we are looking for. This is our x. So we have a proportion here, so we can cross multiply. and we will get x multiplied 100 equals 300 multiplied by 300. So I get x equals 990,000 actually divided by 100. So I get rid of zeros, so I get 900. So this is my answer. This is the first way to solve it. The other way is to find 20%, 200% of 300. So 300 is 100%. 200% is our x. We find x here is 200 multiplied 300 divided by 100. It gives me 600. So this is my 20% of 300, and we need a result of increasing. So we add 300 plus 600, we get 900. That's it for this question. Hi, okay. It's actually not a link. I mean, it's not one test. It's some questions I found from the social media. So on Reddit particularly. This is not one exam, but I can give you link for all questions I will cover today. So, and if you have other questions, feel free to ask. But it's not just one practice test or whatever. It's just questions I found over internet. So let's continue. If we don't have question on this part. Okay, there is a function f is defined for all real numbers, and y equals f on the xy plane and a line with a negative slope. Which of the following must be true? So we have function of slope. So what is that? We have line with positive slope, it's positive, and we have line with a negative slope is this one. Excuse me, something like this. This has a negative slope. How do I know? It means when I go from left to right, I mean x increases because it's 0, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3. My y is also increases, right? So it also goes up. So this means positive. So this has positive slope. And here, when my x goes right, I mean when it increases, my y decreases. So it goes down. That's why it's negative. So it's just a note how to know if it's positive or negative. So I have a line with a negative slope, okay? And then it says, which of the following must be true? What is a function? A function, it means value of this. So if a is less than b, let's check. A is less than b, so let it be a, and this would be b. So this one would be value of a for the function, and this would be value for b. So it says if a is more than b, that's true. Function of a should be more than b. That is true. The first one is true. Here, let's check the second one. If a is negative, then the function is positive. Actually, it's not necessarily so. In this particular case, we have something like that. It's positive, but we can have this kind of function too. So we have negative a, and our function is also negative. The same here. It's positive, value is negative. It's not about that. So The only one is true. A. Oh, ISO question. Yes, I'm doing the answers so you can do them. I guess there's only someone watching, so you can try to do them now yourself. I might wait. I will go slowly, like actually I'm doing slower than you can possibly do. So if you would do, and if you have any questions, just come back and ask your questions until I finish. So let's go to the next question if we don't have any here. Thank you, by the way, for your interest. So we have such figure here, and it says that they are parallel, these lines. Yes. And their points B and E lie on AC and FD respectively. That's true. AB is 9, BC is 18.5, FE is 8.5. What is the length of ED? So it's X. So you just need to know here that if they're parallel lines and they are crossed by something, or two lines are crossed by parallel lines, we can make a proportion. This divided by this, so BA divided by EF should be equal to CB, this divided by this, DE. If we use this knowledge and put the numbers, we get 9 over 8.5 should be equal 18.5 divided by X. This is what we need to know, ED to the nearest 10. So we find it, X equals 18.5 multiplied 8.5 divided by 9. So if we use calculator here, 18.5 multiplied 8.5 and divided by 9, we get 17.47. 17.47, or it's about 17.5. B is the answer. Okay, if you have any questions, let's go. The 10th question, see, it's not 10th for today, but wherever. So we have two modules, like we have equation with absolute values. There are several ways to solve it, but what I advise here is just checking answers because that might be easier. Like if we get here, it's minus 6 plus 2, it's 4, minus 6 minus 8 is definitely minus 14, so it's not the answers. Minus 3, it's 1, and it's a 5, it's minus 11, I guess, not this one. So 3 plus 2 is 5, 3 plus 2 is 5, and 3 minus 8 is minus 5, but absolute value of 5 is 5, and of minus 5 is 5. The answer is C. So there is a way where you just put the equation as it is, and you get 2 plus x equals x minus 8, and you find no solutions here. Or you just put 1 as a negative 1, and you get x plus 2 equals minus x minus 8, x plus 2 equals minus x plus 8, 2x equals 8 minus 2, 2x equals to 6, x equals to 3. So this is our answer, like proper way to solve the question. Let's go to the next question. I'm occasionally checking the chat, so if you have questions, feel free. Okay, we have two functions. One is a line function and an exponential function. Both contain some points. Okay, let me first draw a graph, let's say. So they have one point is 1 and 3. Yes, 1 and 3. And the other one, let's draw it somewhere here. 2 and 4. Okay, let it be 4. So if both contain these points, this means this line shall pass something like this. Sorry for that. Okay, now what we need to know is how does the graph of exponential function looks. So this looks like this, if you know. So we draw something like that that crosses that point. Okay, so we drew it. So it's very important that we know this is exponential function and this is line. So we fill it. They're just some inaccuracies, but it's okay. So there is a point R and S on the graph, and there is a point RT on the graph of exponential function, RS on the linear equation. So where R is less than 4, so I take, it's between 0 and 4. So it's R4, I draw the 4. It's somewhere here, but it's still positive. It's somewhere here. And it says that S is more than T. Now, what is S? S is the y of the function on linear. So let's assume this is S. So this would be our S. And our T is of the function. So what is, since we have R here somewhere, so this is our S and this is our T. And what does it tell us? It says S is more than T. Look here. Here, S is not more than T. T actually is more than S. If we take R to be here, the same, it's S and this one is T. So this will happen the same till we reach here. Actually here, this point actually should be this one. So at this point, our S and T are equal. They are both 4 because this is the point that crosses both the linear function and the exponential one. And once we cross it somewhere here, let's say, we have R. So this is our exponential function. It would have T, and this is our S. So S is more than T. This is what we are looking for at these points, and this will happen till we reach 1, right? And once we go further till 0, actually the exponential function again will be more than linear one. So here it's a little bit tricky question. You just need to understand how does this look, like you see here, just to make it clear. So at this part, the linear function, the value of linear function is bigger than for the exponential one. However, on the other parts, exponential is bigger. The same applies here. So we need part where the linear function is bigger than exponential one. So this is between 1 and 2. The answer is B here. Okay, let's continue. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. I'm checking the comments from time to time to know if there are questions or not. Okay, so we have, what is this? We have a circle and we need to find the length of the arc S. And we know that this is a central angle and 2 is in radians. Okay, guys, before answering, so and we need to find the length of it, right? So before doing that, let's remind ourselves what is radian. So we have an angle in degrees, like 45 degrees, or we can have an angle in radians, like here, 2 radians. Why we write radians, not degrees? What's the difference? The difference is this. In a circle, if you get, this is a radius. If you draw a 60 degrees angle, this is still will be radius as well. And this part would also be radius. Like length of the part will be equal to radius because this will be 60 as well and this one too. So, but we don't know, like it helps us in degrees, of course. It helps us to know this part, but it doesn't tell us anything about length of the arc. So that's why when we use radians, they are rather telling us stuff about the arc. So if we have radius here and we take an angle that equals to the 1 radian, so this also would be radius. The arc here formed, you see this arc will be equal to R. So not this line, but this arc. So this is 1 radius. So if I have 2 radiuses, so it's also 1, together is 2, it's also R. So it means this length would be 2 R's. So I have 2 radians here, so it means the length of this arc of S would be 2 radius, or 2 multiplied 7, they gave us the radius. So this is 14 here. Good? Okay, we have question 23 and 24. Let me go back. Oh, 24. Indeed, it's a little bit tricky question. Let me clear this up. Okay, look. What does it tell us? It tells us that we have a graph, just let's do it, with linear function and exponential function. So what we need to know here, that a linear function is just a line, something like this, or whatever. Or let me do it on Desmos, just give me a moment. That would be much easier. And we have an exponential function. So the graph of exponential function is this. Yeah, they call it like this. Okay. So this is what we need to combine because we have both of them on the one graph, yes, but we don't know how to draw them. That's why they gave us 2 points. We will concentrate on these points, okay? So let's draw it. So we have a graph here. And it says there's a point 1 and 3. So this is 1 point. The other point is 2 and let's say here 4. Sorry, let me redraw it. I didn't like it here. So they say 1.1 and 3 here, and 2, let's say 4. 4 here. Wait a minute. Let me clear this part. Okay. So I know that these 2 points are both on my linear function and both on exponential, right? So now it's easy to draw a linear function. You just draw it, a line that crosses through these 2 points. Okay, I drew it. So now I need to draw an exponential function. It goes like this. Yes, when we have x0, it should be equal a or 1 at this point. So you see it has some kind of this paraboloish way. So I draw it the same way from here. So are you okay with the way we draw the lines? I mean, we draw the graphs of this function. So far, so good, yes? Or if you would comment, I would be very glad. So now it says us that there is a point RS on the graph of linear function and like in linear equation, and RT on the graph of exponential equation, where R is less than 4, just somewhere here. It's 4, it's somewhere here. What is R? So if any graph, this is R and this is our T, or this is our R and this is our other function, like T is a value of Y and R is a value of X. So we have same X, right? Let's say here, just same X. So the value of this function at this point with X for this will be the value on the line Y, like here. And for the exponential equation, it will be here somewhere. It's not visible, but somewhere here. So did you understand how we find S and T? So this is our T because it says T is on the exponential function and S is on the linear. Oh, thank you very much for your really kind words. I really hope it's understandable. Like if you really get something out of it. So from here, what we do. So if you understood how come we know what is what, like now we just logically try to find where should R or X be. Let's say X is here. We still have this value to be less than this value. You see, this is bigger, this is smaller. How I compare bigger or smaller? I look at Y value. It's just Y value here. I mean, it goes up. So the same will happen each time I go here. My X goes this way, this way, this. they come closer, closer, closer until this point 2. At the point 2, R and R is the same, right? It's 2, 2 here and 4, 4 here because both lines, both functions go through these points. So once we found that this is not the same, like this here is, they are the same, S equals to T, and then we continue going here, we find that actually at this point, the value of the linear function that was S is bigger than value of exponential T, you see? This is S, this is T, S, T, and it goes till this point 1 where it's all again equal, and then it's again goes the way here. Exponential function is bigger than the linear. That's why the answer should be somewhere here because they said that S is more than T. So this is 1 or 2, between 1 or 2, the answer is B. Okay. So shall I go further? Shall I continue, right? Just comment please because I'm waiting, like just in case. Great. Okay, let's go. I did the circle one. So are you okay with circle? Okay, let's do circle. I did it. So let's do this one. Like if you went through the slides I sent you, you can tell me which slide you want to do. Okay, let's do this one because this one is not very easy question and it requires some efforts, let's say. So it wants, there's a circle, there's a triangle, and it wants the area of the shaded region. What we need to know, first, I logically know that the shaded region equals to this part, all shaded region, this, you see this, it's just the same, 460, minus this triangle, right? So that's it. Once we found this, it would be easier for us to solve it. So let's first find this area of this shaded a region, like this region or sector, right? So this is what we need to know. This is part of this whole circle, right? What is the area of whole circle? Area of circle equals pi r squared, and I find it pi multiplied 4 squared, or it's 16 pi. Good. So I found area of whole circle. If this is a 60 degrees, all of this is 360, right? So I write that 16 pi equals to 360 degrees. 60 degrees is x. I find here x equals to 60 multiplied 16 pi divided 360. I divide it here, I get 16 pi divided by 6, or 8 pi divided by 3. Okay, this is the area of the shaded region here, like sector. It's 8 pi over 3. What is the area of triangle now? This is radius, so this is 4, 2. Let me clean this some parts here. So this is 4, 2, and it's equilateral triangle. So this one's angles are equal, and actually they are 62. So this would be our equilateral triangle. So this is 4, 2. How do you find it? If we don't know the identity for that, the easy way to find is this. This is 4, this is 4, 4, 4. I draw this. It becomes 30 because this is a 90 degree and this is 60. So 30 is a half of it. It's 2 half of the hypotenuse, and this will be 2 square root of 3. And how do we find the area of the big triangle? It's 1/2 multiplied by the height. It's 2 square root of 3, and by the length of this, it's 4. So I get 4 square root of 3. Agree? So this is the area of this triangle. So now what I need to find is, I'll draw here, 8 pi over 3 minus 4 square root of 3. So I don't have the answer here like this, but I have 1 over 3 out of, like, factored out. Let's do that. 1 over 3. So I get 8 pi here and get 12 square root of 3 here. So the answer is D here. Yeah, geometry is not that easy as we think. Yes, with this kind of questions, you what need to do is just find first a way what you need to do. Let me clear everything. Like, you're stuck, you don't know what to do, but just think logically. What is this? This is circle. What do you see? You see a triangle. What it wants me area here. Okay, what I need to do to find area here? I can't find area here just somehow. But I have circle. I have this sector. Okay. Oh, you see there's a triangle too. So if I find this triangle and this sector, I can find it. So you just need to remember what steps you should take, because usually you learn the area of the sector, and you also learn the area of triangle. Okay, next one is also a geometry question. It's kind of the same logic. We need to find area by finding area of something else. So there is a point O is the center. Okay, O is the vertex of the square that lies on, so it's a square, so all sides are equal. Once I read, I make it clear for myself what does square mean. All sides are equal. And the opposite vertex is point O. Okay, one is here, other one is here. The area of the shaded region, so I have area of this all black place. Shaded region, what is the perimeter square of the square? Okay, perimeter. You see, you go back from perimeter. Perimeter, I need to find the length of it, like A, right? I can find A, just easy. So there's a area, so I need to find area of square, right? So how do I do that? I also need to find area of the circle, etc. So you see, there are really a lot of steps to do. but they are not that hard. What we do? Look, area of the circle. What we need to find the area of the circle? It's pi r squared. So r, right? Do we have r here? Yes, this is r. What is r here? Oh, you see, this is r2. Yes. So let's call it this way. So our area of the square is just pi r squared. Now we have this square. I just draw it bigger with diameter of diagonal, sorry, with r. What would be this part? It's easy. We should have known that this should be r divided by square root of 2. Okay. If we don't even know that, we just know that this is square. These sides are equal. Let's call them x, x. This is 45, this is 45. And what we know by Pythagorean theorem, it's x squared plus x squared should be r squared. So from here, x squared equals r squared, x squared equals r squared divided by 2, x equals square root of r squared divided by 2, or r divided square root of 2. So that's it. This is square root of 2. Yes, r divided by square root of 2. And what is the area of this small square? It would be side square, r over square root of 2 square. So it would be r squared divided by 2. Great. So we have the area of the shaded region. This is this minus this. So I get pi r squared minus r squared over 2 equals 36 pi minus 18. So we can actually solve it like long way. Not really long way, but I mean, okay, just let's solve. There's a logical way to solve that too. Let me solve. I get out r with 2. Let's do that. Okay, I get here r squared over 2. What I get here is pi. It's actually 2 pi. I'm left here minus 1. Agree? And here you see it's actually 36. 18 multiplied 2. I do the same. 18. So I get here, let's write it smaller. I get 18, 2 pi minus 1. I divide by 2 pi minus 1. I get r squared over 2 equals 18. R squared equals 36. R equals 6. Actually, it's plus minus 6, but since it's about length of the radius, it's always positive. So r is 6. So I found only r. What was the faster way is here. Look, r squared with p. So this is p. So it means that this is actually this one. So logically, r squared is 36. R is 6. And I check it here. R squared 36 over 2 is 18. So I found R. What they ask us, perimeter. Now I can find the side of it. So side would be R, 6 over square root of 2. And what is the perimeter? Multiplied by 4. This equals to 24 over square root of 2. I don't have such answer, but if we get rid of irrationality by multiplying both denominator and numerator by square root of 2, I get 24. 2 square root of 2 divided by 2, and I subtract, no, sorry, not subtract, factor out, I get 12 over 12 multiplied square root of 2. It's C here. So I did a little bit fast this one. You are good. So let's continue. Okay, this question, this is very interesting question actually. It was asked several times in the Reddit group, thread. So it was like really difficult one, let's say. So what I want to talk about before solving this is why they written it in this way. So actually, if a function is written in this way, it means that we directly can see its roots or the x-intercepts, right? What is the function here? It has x-intercept here, like at -1, at -2. So this is -1, this is -2, and 1. Yes. And before going to this, I want to tell you. So what happens to function when it crosses at x-intercept? So it was positive here, right? And then it became negative here. So it might change the side, right, as this function. Look, let's say this is a linear function. So it's our x-intercept. Once it's till here, it's negative. You see the value, I mean y, is negative. Negative, 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 even here negative. And then once it's here, it's 0, and then it's positive, 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 positive. So it's, sorry, it's negative and then positive. Or if I have quadratic function like this, so these are our x-intercepts. So till here it's positive, 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 positive. I'll write here positive. Then it's 0, then it's negative. It goes negative, 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 negative till next intercept, and then it's again positive, 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 positive. But it's not always the case. It also can be like this, right? So it was positive, 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 positive here. It's here still. It's 0, and then it's again positive, 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 positive. Good. So, or it's an absolute value function like this. Yeah. So what we know here, so at this intercepts, the functions either change their value or they don't change it. Okay. So this is so far what we realized from what I said just now. So let's continue here and do the same here. So let's know if it's negative or positive here. Let's put any number less than -2. Let's put -3. So -3 minus 1, it's -4. -3 plus 1, it's -2. -3 plus 2, it's -1. So minus minus, it's plus, multiplied minus, so it's negative here. Or let's do like this, negative. Then let's put which number we can put here between -1 and -2. Let's put -1.5. So this is -2.5. So this is -0.5, and this is 0.5. This multiplied gives us positive, multiplied positive. So here it's positive. So let's put number, so sorry, it's positive. Put number here, let's put 0. 0, it's -1, plus 1, plus 2. So it's plus, plus, it's plus, -1, it's negative. So after that, it's positive 2. So now, which is not one possible? So it says that there is a point A and B, while A is somewhere here, right? What is not possible value of B? So we know that here, then it should be negative, right? So it cannot be 1, right? Oh, sorry, that's it. It wants at not a possible value. So 1 is not possible. Why A and B possible? Because they are both positive. Oh, sorry, excuse me, it's both negative, and we said that it's negative. And about 0, of course, it can be 0 at points 1 or -1 because they are included. Okay. Let's continue. 3. If no one joins, I will leave soon too. So we have a function this, and what is the possible value of h? So if function of r is this, then function of this, we just put this instead of r. Agree? Agree. H minus 3 minus 4 multiplied h minus plus minus 3 plus 1 square equals 0. So h minus 7, h, what is this? Minus 2 square equals 0. So one possible value is 7 here, or h equals to 2. Good with this? Let's continue. Not that difficult question, just you need to find out. So here we have graph of the circle, and it's translated downward a units, right? It said here, such that the circle is tangent to x-axis, and equation becomes this. So okay, what is 5? Actually it should be, let's write 5 square, right? Because it's r square. So we have graph like this with center of 6 and 3, and radius is 5, so it's somewhere here. I redraw it. Okay, radius is 5, so it's somewhere here and here, like, right? Minus 2, agree, it should be somewhere here. So it's something like this, and it says it goes downwards so that it's tangent to x. So obviously this part cannot be tangent because it goes down, so it means this will be here tangent to this part, right? Do you agree with me? How much it goes down? Till this much. Do you agree with me? Yes. So since this is a 5, because it's our radius, and this is our 3, this is length of this, how much it will go down? It will go down by 8. Good. A is 8. Okay, let's continue. Which of the following could be the graph of this? So we will look at here. We have what we have in all of them. We have the vertex of this. Let's rewrite this function in the form of vertex. What is the form of vertex? It's equals ax minus r squared plus k, where vertex is h and k. So I need to make it square, so it's x squared plus 2x plus 1, right? And this is equal to x plus 1 squared plus 1. So our vertex is minus 1, and because it's plus 1, so it's minus 1 and 1. So it should be somewhere here and here. Okay, this one works. No, no, no. The answer is D here. Okay, another question. There are 2 points. Let's draw them. 2 and 4 is here, and minus 2 and minus 4 here. Endpoints of a diameter of the circle. That's great. Okay, then it means there is some kind of this circle. There's a diameter, and it's something like very big circle. I can't draw it properly. I'm really sorry for that. Wherever. Which of the following could be the equation? So what is the first thing? We can find radius, right? This is 2, this is 4. What is the radius? Radius would be this hypotenuse of a right triangle. 2 square plus 4 square equals to r square. So this is 4 plus 16 equals r square equals 20. Actually, square, right? Do you agree with me? Like we have x minus x1 square plus y minus y1 square equals r square. So r square is 20, so we need this and this, so answers are wrong. And now what we focus on is this point. Since it's the beginning of the center, this is our center, and it's 0, 0, so this is 0, this is 0. X minus 0 is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. The answer is D here. So that's it for today. If you have any other questions, please feel free to write. I will add a link to my Discord community I'm building. It's free for SAT Math. I'm not sure how much it will be available. Hope you will be able to join. I'm doing some live sessions there too. So welcome. See you next lives or on Discord. You can write me there too.